guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. मैं हूँ देवयानी and आज का वीडियो is going to be very helpful for everybody who is trying to understand कि should you do your bachelor's or master's degree in London या London के बाहर. And guys, I was in the very same situation when I was applying. Literally all of the universities I applied were outside London other than King's College London. So literally मैं same situation में थी जब मैं decide कर रही थी कि ओ London के ये pros है, outside London के ये pros है, ये cons है. It was so confusing. So back then I did a thing. मैंने अलग अलग metrics लिए थे and I had written down the pros and cons of each. And after that, after analyzing everything, I made the decision for me. And as you guys know, I'm currently studying at King's College London. So I chose London for myself. पर ऐसे नहीं कि my decision is right for everybody. सबके priorities अलग अलग होते हैं, सबके dreams and aspirations अलग अलग होते हैं. So in this video, I'm going to talk about different factors. For example, university fees, social life, opportunities after graduation and things like that, and I'm going to give you a comparison of what I've learned through my experiences and also talking to my friends who stay outside of London, and hopefully this will help you make the right decision for yourself. But before we begin, guys, thank you so much for 5,000 subscribers. I'm so grateful, I'm so excited. So please keep supporting me, keep giving me all this love, and do consider subscribing, and let's just get into this video. So the first thing you need to consider whether you want to study in London or outside London is the university fees. So university fees is one investment जो आपको करना ही है. Like for example, social में आप कभी कभी बाहर खाना नहीं गए तो you can save up money. पर university fees आपको pay करने ही है. So as a matter of fact, universities in London are more expensive than universities outside London. So depending आपका financial status क्या है, आपको कितना loan लेना है, you can make this decision. But mostly London-based universities range from like £13,000 to even up to £38,000. But comparatively, जो London-based universities नहीं हैं, they range from about £9,000 to up to £20,000. So can you see the huge difference? Like आपको 9 लाख में भी एक डिग्री मिल सकती है UK में, which is very much possible. But आप लंदन में नहीं रह सकते. But of course, there are some outliers, like for example, University of Cambridge, Oxford, University of Manchester is also a bit more expensive. For example, University of Manchester का marketing course is about £25,000. So there are few exceptions, of course, but mostly universities outside London are cheaper because उनका rent का इतना खर्च नहीं था. Like London is one of the most expensive cities in the world. So area का खर्च, rent का खर्च, and overall it becomes more expensive, and hence they charge more for us. Another reason why London universities are more expensive और इतने higher side पे because mostly the top universities are in London. So Russell Group universities जो होते हैं which are very highly ranked on research. तो अगर आपने वो मेरा वीडियो नहीं देखा, I've linked it here, I've linked it down below. But check it out. Why is it important? But those universities are more expensive. So London has King's College London, UCL, Imperial, LSE, LBS, like all these universities which are really high ranking universities and really great academic universities. So hence unka fee structure is higher. So this is one thing you need to consider. University fees of universities outside London are cheaper but might be lower ranking ones. But on the other hand, London based are more expensive, but some of the top universities are based in London. So the second factor you need to consider is academic reputation. So London has over 45 universities ranging from different rankings. There are some universities जो बहुत कम rank करते हैं, but the top few universities are based in London. So there are again some exceptions like Oxford हो गया, Cambridge हो गया, Manchester, Edinburgh, which are not based in London. But if you think about, like as I mentioned before, the top other universities are based in London. और academic reputation of these universities बहुत ज़्यादा है. So they are super competitive to get into. Of course, like because London में opportunities overall ज़्यादा है, which I'm going to talk about later, but it is more difficult to get into. So for example, in King's College London, the lowest CGPA I know Indians में was 8.5. तो सबको more than 8.5 है. Like I got an 8.97, but मेरे सबसे closest friends, everybody has more than a 9 CGPA, which was before COVID. Okay, so COVID से अभी it's become more competitive because सबने घर से पढ़ाई की है, सबने घर पे exams दिए. तो I know a lot of people who are getting a 9 CG, but you need to stand out more. So I think it has become a bit more competitive now. जब मैंने apply किया था last year उससे, but yes, it is very difficult to get into otherwise also. But comparatively, like universities outside London, उनका acceptance rate काफ़ी ज़्यादा होता है. Like for example, LSE का is one of the lowest acceptance rate in the UK. कुछ तो 5% I'm not sure, but outside London, like for example, I'm not going to name any university, but it could be up to 80 to 90% for Indians. तो इतना बड़ा difference है. But does that mean like higher acceptance rate तो the university is bad? That is definitely not true. It's just that it is easier to get into and you might have मतलब आपको कम कॉस्मोपॉलिटन क्राउड मिलेगा, आपको मोस्टली इंडियंस के साथ रहना पड़ेगा, साउथ एशियन क्राउड के साथ रहना पड़ेगा, बट दैट इज नॉट नेसेसरली अ बैड थिंग. आपकी डिग्री और आपका यूनिवर्सिटी, इट इज़ गुड. लाइक इफ इट इज़ रैंक्ड वेल ऑन QS वर्ल्ड रैंकिंग और समथिंग लाइक दैट, एंड द acceptance rate might be higher, that is okay. But again, to conclude, universities in London are more academically reputed than the ones outside London. The next factor you need to consider is, of course, the cost of living. London is one of the most expensive cities in the world, and guys, मैं आपको बता नहीं पा रही हूँ, it is so expensive. Especially अभी recession चल रहा है, सबके prices बढ़ रहे हैं, salaries इतने नहीं मिल रहे, it is so expensive. It is so expensive. Like minimum, like if I talk in rupees, minimum 700 रुपए का खर्चा मेरा खाली ऑफिस जाके घर या कॉलेज जाके घर आने को होता है. यू नो, इट इज़ सो एक्सपेंसिव. लाइक आई हैव मेड अ वीडियो ऑफ हाउ मच आई स्पेंट इन अ वीक इन लंडन एज अ स्टूडेंट, एंड यू कैन चेक आउट दैट वीडियो, एंड लाइक इट्स अ लॉट. ठीक है, बट कंपैरेटिवली आउटसाइड लंडन आप बहुत पैसा सेव कर सकते हो, लाइक लिटरली इवन हाफ द अमाउंट. सो आई नो फॉर एग्जाम्पल राइट नाउ इन अ मंथ मेरा रेंट इज अबाउट 800 pounds, विच इज़ 80,000 rupees a month. So comparatively, I know some people who stay outside London who pay 30,000 rupees a month. So that difference is huge, and definitely outside London gets a point here. So for example, if you're living outside London, आप 15 मिनट के वॉक में, 10 मिनट के वॉक पे आप कॉलेज पहुंच सकते हो. इन मैनी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ अकोमोडेशन कॉलेज में ही रहता है, so आपको उससे भी कम चलना पड़ता है. बट लंडन में लाइक बिकॉज यू हैव टू ट्रैवल अ लॉट. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल व्हेन आई वाज स्टडिंग एट किंग्स कॉलेज लंडन, मेरे को सुबह लाइक 1 घंटा तो पकड़ के ही जाना था. आई हैड टू लीव 1 hour अर्ली टू रीच कॉलेज ऑन टाइम, विच इज़ अ ह्यूज टाइम इन्वेस्टमेंट, मनी इन्वेस्टमेंट. और कभी कभी लोगों का ऐसा होता है कि ट्यूब्स चेंज करने पड़ते हैं, कभी कभी ट्यूब एंड बस लेना पड़ता है. सो विच जस्ट एड्स टू द कॉस्ट ऑफ लिविंग. द बेसिक थिंग्स हियर इन लंडन आर मच मोर एक्सपेंसिव. जो बेसिक थिंग्स आपको लंडन के बाहर मिलेंगे, द किराना स्टॉप्स आर मच मोर एक्सपेंसिव. सो डेफिनेटली लाइक कॉस्ट अगर आपके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है, इफ़ यू वॉन्ट टू सेव अप मोर, I would recommend you to stay outside London. But that again depends on what your priority is. So for me, for example, I came here without a loan. So मुझे उतना financial constraint नहीं था. So of course I could afford to stay in London. But again, then I have to do a part-time, I have to work more, and then that is that. But again, it's on your priority. So cost of living के लिए outside London definitely gets 1 point. So the next factor you need to consider is the employment opportunities. So London is considered one of the financial capitals of the world. So you can imagine कि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे jobs है, definitely बहुत सारे jobs है, literally like in terms of finance, in terms of business, like लंदन में कितने बड़े बड़े brands उनके headquarters है, and there are too many jobs to be there, but it is also very competitive in that sense. I'll give you an example. एक company है, कौन सा ले ले, for example Google में एक job opening हो गया, and they want to hire a fresher, a graduate for that role. So लंदन में कैसे होगा ना, you're competing with students from, like I'm from King's College London, so I'm competing with my classmates, I'm competing with students from UCL, Imperial, and all these London based universities, but also the universities outside London as well. Like there is everybody who's competing for one role. So it becomes so hard. So after speaking to some of my friends, I have noticed कि companies in London would prefer students who are based in London than somebody who's outside London, for obvious reasons, because उनको shift like they can join in immediately. कि अगर job opening आया आप लंदन में तो immediately आप join कर सकते हो, then आपको लंदन का life पता है, so you know how to travel around and you don't need time to adjust and shift everything. Like it's just faster for the company because like mental state is already settled in London. कि आप किसी और को, for example they're coming from Bath or Cardiff or something like that, it might be more difficult. So in terms of that, definitely London has more opportunities, but it is so competitive. Compared to that, London के बाहर are कम opportunities, but it is also less competitive. Like for example, you study at University of Durham, for example, and वहाँ पे एक नया role खुला in marketing. So your competition is only your classmates, because somebody from London is very less likely to apply there, or somebody from Manchester is very less likely to apply to a job opening in Durham. तो आपको job भी मिल जाएगा, but again like that is where your priorities lie. कि आपको slow life होगी comparative, like London is a very fast life, very happening life, so that is that. So if I had to give you advice कि आपको अगर opportunities चाहिए और सबसे ज़्यादा opportunities चाहिए, so study in London because literally like in terms of everything it's much better. पर ऐसे भी नहीं है, like for example a lot of people I know who don't stay in London, who had experience before, have gotten jobs, but a lot of friends who stay in London who have less kind of experience have not gotten jobs. So there is no, you know, an ultimatum कि आपके skills के ऊपर है, आप how much you put yourself out there, how do you apply, how do you write a cover letter, and that all things do matter. So, but in terms of opportunities, I would say London wins hands down, and that's where London gets 1 point. So, the next thing you need to consider is having a university life. So, definitely London does not get a point there. This universities outside London win for that. Because London ka aisa na, because it is such an expensive city. There is no university campus and a campus life you have. For example, King's College London, may we have 5 campuses placed all around London. So, mera main campus was Bush House. There's one in Strand. There's one near Tower Bridge. Like literally, like alag-alag, there's one in Waterloo. So, like a community kind of thing, itna nahi lagta. So, like, even my building is one standalone building. I go there, I study, I have a good time. But post-university, yes, you can go out to like chill and things like that. But uske baad you have to travel like an hour and a half to go back home. You have to take a bus, you have to take a tube. But on the other hand, the university is outside London hai. Everybody stays on campus, you chill a lot more together. I think you would make better friends there. ऐसे मेरा assumption था. So when I was considering whether I want to stay in London or outside London, this was a very big factor because I did my undergrad in Mumbai. And Mumbai में को वही problem था कि मेरा college में जय हिंद में the college was amazing, I had a good time, but everybody used to stay so far away. Like मैं बैंड्रा में रहती थी, मेरी दूसरी फ्रेंड बोरिवली में रहती है, मेरी तीसरी फ्रेंड कोलाबा में रहती है. So एक साथ like you don't hang out as much with your college peers, जो मेरे को universities outside London में बहुत strongly लगता है कि you just make like really close friends. But does that mean that मैंने close friends नहीं बनाए? Definitely not true. It is on you to go out, to talk to people, to build those connections. So if you've seen my video of how I'm even made friends before getting to UK, I have made some amazing friends here and I am very close to all of them. So this was not a barrier for me, but if you are an introvert or if you make, it's more difficult for you to make friends in that sense, or maybe staying outside London makes more sense for you, and having like a more university centric life is more fun probably कि आप like university के बाद रात में आप college में घूम सकते हो, you can be a part of a lot of clubs. So I had an interview with Shubham who studies at Warwick. So वो बता रहा था he stays somewhere around campus, and then वो बता रहा था he was like parts of different clubs, he used to play sports and do this and do that, which I did not get an opportunity to do because like college के बाद like it becomes like 5 बजे college खत्म हुआ, maybe you are a part of some club, पर उसके बाद इतना दूर घर जाना है, like it's you have to consider a lot of factors कि dinner बनाना है, मतलब travel में बहुत time चला जाता है लंदन में. So that is where outside London definitely wins a point. So as I mentioned in the earlier point, a bit about friends and things like that. So let us talk about social life ज़्यादा. So social life is very important because you're living here alone. So I'll tell you like another thing कि literally when you have left आपका घर, आपकी family, आपके पुराने दोस्त and come to a new country, आप एकदम अकेले हो. तो यहाँ पे कैसे होता है, नवंबर दिसंबर के बाद it starts getting dark, 4 बजे like पूरा अंधेरा हो जाता है. अरे आपको कोई अच्छे दोस्त नहीं है, you don't know what to do, you tend to get very depressed. आप रूम में बैठ के 4 बजे अंधेरा है, आप क्या ही करोगे? तो having like a good strong social life is very important. बट अगेन एज आई मेंशन बिफोर, इट इज़ नॉट डेफिनेट कि ऐसे नहीं होता कि लंदन में हो, बट इट्स ऑन योर स्किल्स अगेन कि आप लंदन में हो, कैसे नहीं कि आपको बहुत ही दोस्त होंगे, पर लंदन के बाहर कम हो गया, लंदन के बाहर हो तो आपको ज़्यादा दोस्त होंगे, ऐसे देयर इज़ नथिंग लाइक दैट. बट आई वुड से कि इफ़ यू कम एक बड़े सिटी से, इफ़ यू कम फ्रॉम समवेयर लाइक मुंबई, दिल्ली, बैंगलोर, इवन पुणे समटाइम्स, एंड इफ़ यू हैव दैट फाइनेंशियल कैपेबिलिटी, डू कम टू लंडन. सो मेरी एक दोस्त है हु यूज्ड टू स्टे इन बॉम्बे एंड शी वेंट टू मैनचेस्टर, एंड उसको मैनचेस्टर इवन तो इट इज़ अ प्रिटी बिग सिटी, उसको वो बहुत स्लो और बहुत डेड लगा. शी वाज लाइक मैं क्या करूँ, लाइक इफ़ यू आर समबडी हु लव्स टू पार्टी, हु लाइक्स टू हैव अ गुड टाइम, गो आउट, डेफिनेटली चूज लंडन, नहीं तो आप पागल हो जाओगे. आई एम नॉट अ पार्टी पर्सन माई सेल्फ, सो आई थिंक आई वुड हैव बीन फाइन, बट तो भी आई डोंट थिंक आई कैन स्टे आउटसाइड लंडन एवर. लाइक आई लव द फास्ट लाइफ, आई लव दैट देर इज ऑलवेज समथिंग टू डू हियर. लाइक लिटरली अगर आप फोन खोलें जैसे व्हाट टू डू टुडे, देर आर पार्टीज हैपनिंग, देर आर इवेंट्स हैपनिंग, मीटअप्स हैपनिंग, सोशल, लाइक लिटरली इट इज सो फुल ऑफ लाइफ. लाइक लिटरली इज ऑलवेज समथिंग. अगर आपको आइस स्केटिंग करना है फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लंडन में देर आर लाइक 8 places वेर यू कैन गो टू आइस स्केट, और इफ यू वांट टू डू bowling, there are like 20 places where you can go to bowling. Ice cream khana hai to there are like maybe 100 places. But outside London, you have very limited things you can do. So maybe for example, if you're staying, I don't know, at Bath for example, तो I don't know why I'm obsessed with Bath, but Bath for example, then वहाँ पे क्या करोगे आप? Like there's a nice architecture, maybe you have like 2 malls or 1 mall. I've never been to Bath honestly, so मेरे को पता नहीं. But what I've heard, and मेरे दोस्तों से, of course I've taken a lot of interviews and मेरे को like I have got that idea in that sense, but it is very slow. But if that doesn't matter to you, like you can like mostly have house parties, or if you chill with friends and maybe you can travel to London beach mein, then you can still manage that. But yeah, for social life, definitely London gets a point here. Like, that's a no-brainer. So the last factor we need to consider as a student is doing part-time jobs. So definitely London में बहुत सारे part-time jobs है, but again it is very competitive. So I have made a video about the truth and reality of part-time jobs, which I have linked here and linked down below as well. But यहाँ पे like working, if you go to central London for example, there are like a billion cafes जहाँ पे openings है. So it's not that you won't get a part time job. आपको as a barista, as a cleaner, like बहुत easily part time jobs मिलेंगे, जो आपको outside London भी बहुत easily मिलेंगे. That is not an issue. But the point where outside London मिलता है, so I don't know if it's legal for me to say this, but outside London आप 20 hours से ज़्यादा काम कर सकते हो by having cash in hand. So as you guys know, as an international student, you're only allowed to work 20 hours per week in a 20 hours per week in a week, 20 hours per week. So you cannot work more than that. And I think in London it would be more strict. There are some people who already do it, but I think outside London there are some people आप बात कर सकते हो कि हाँ ठीक है, बाकी I will work like 30 hours per week and just बाकी का पैसा give me cash in hand, so you're earning more, but किसी को समझ नहीं आ रहा. So I don't know, like that's, I won't advise you to do that. Like मैंने कभी ऐसे किया नहीं, and I am a person who likes to follow rules in that sense, but that is what it's my job to give you all the information जो आपको चाहिए. So that is what it is. So there are, like, if you want to earn more, like save up more, maybe working outside London would be better. But if you want a job in your field, I think again London wins. Like for example, मुझे like I know people who worked outside London worked in like in the most service based thing, like work Amazon warehouse में काम कर लिया, Tesco में काम कर लिया, Sainsbury या like at Pizza Hut or McDonald's or things like that. In London, I think there are people who work in their field. For example, I did a part-time in marketing itself. I'm a marketing officer at a place. I'm still working part-time. There are some people, अलग-अलग जगह पे, like, you can find jobs in your field. Again, it's not easy. It is not easy to find that. But, like, for example, बाद में अपन, even if you want employment, doing, working as a sales assistant somewhere, which is not a bad job, of course, like, for money, for everything is not a bad job, but I'm talking in terms कि आपको बाद में कैसे opportunities मिलेंगे. तो अगर आपने मैकडॉनल्ड्स में काम किया 1 साल किया, yes, आपको काफ़ी अच्छा पैसे मिलेंगे, आपको खाना भी मिलेगा, you save up a lot, but आप ये CV पे नहीं डाल सकते, like you won't get a job. Like sometimes you can manipulate it and say, like, पर for example आपको मार्केटिंग में काम करना है, सॉरी, आई एम मार्केटिंग स्टूडेंट, सब मार्केटिंग एग्जाम्पल्स, आप बोल सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे मैंने मैकडॉनल्ड्स का ब्रांडिंग सीखा, आई लर्न हाउ टू डील विद कंज्यूमर साइकोलॉजी. बट टू लैंड अ जॉब, दिस इज ओके, यू कैन पुट इट इन अ CV, बट इट इज़ वेरी लेस लाइकली. तो मैंने फॉर एग्जाम्पल पार्ट टाइम किया मार्केटिंग में ही, सो आई हैव एक्चुअली वर्कड ऑन मार्केटिंग कैंपेन्स, फेसबुक एड्स एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट. सो ऑफ कोर्स आई वुड गेट अ मोर प्रायोरिटी. तो you need to consider that factor as well. So again, like, it is on you कि आपको पैसे ज़्यादा कमाना important है कि ये सब. So it's just like, it's actually at the end of the day is how much you hustle and things like that. So for me personally, living in London was the best decision I made. I just love this city. There is always something to do. There is always something to learn and go out. And if I just want to step out, like for example, मैं अभी recently एक social media meetup पे गई थी. There are people who had 50-60,000 subscribers to 1 million subscribers. ऐसे लोग आए थे, मैंने उनसे interact किया, which was like so happening and it was so helpful for me. But maybe outside London ऐसे events होते ही नहीं. Like you will have to travel here, and यहाँ पे travel करना is also not like cheap. Like basic ticket, like it will be from £8 to 35 to sometimes £45 depending on where you're staying and कितना late ticket book कर रहे हो. So like it's not ऐसे फटाक के चलो लंदन जाते वहाँ पे लंदन में रह के होटल में रहना भी is also so expensive. So all these factors you have to consider. What kind of person are you? कि आपको मास्टर्स के बाद वापस इंडिया जाना है, तो मे बी आउटसाइड लंदन रह के यू कैन सेव अप मोर, या आपको वापस जाना है कि यू विल बी इन लंदन, यू विल पार्टी एंड देन गो बैक होम. इट्स जस्ट ऑन यू. लाइक, आर यू अ सोशल पर्सन, देन यू विल लव लंदन. बट आर यू अ सोशल पर्सन हु लाइक्स टू डू हाउस पार्टीज एंड लाइक टू बी विद ओनली क्लोज फ्रेंड्स, देन मे बी यू लाइक आउटसाइड लंदन. सो देयर इज no definite answer. It is on you, your priorities, your financial status, what you want from life and everything else. But at the end of the video, if I have to give you advice, I would say aim for a better university, aim for a London based university जो academically better है, जिसमें आप ज़्यादा सीख सकते हो, जो आपके CV को improve करेगा, जो आपके CV को improve करेगा. हाँ, पैसे आप थोड़ा expensive है, पर वो आप कमा लोगे, पैसे आते जाते रहते हैं. बट जस्ट लाइक टू सेव सम मनी, लाइक पैसे किए तो देन बाद में टू ग्रो इट माइट बी अ बिट हार्डर. सो आई वुड से अपॉर्चुनिटीज वाइज इन टर्म्स ऑफ सोशल लाइफ एंड एवरीथिंग, लंडन इज द प्लेस टू बी. बट इफ नॉट, it is on you how you make life and what hard work you put and how you end your education journey and things like that. So all I can say is good luck. Hope you make the right decision. And let me know in the comments below कि आपको लंदन में रहना है कि लंदन के बाहर रहना है. And that's it from my side. I hope this video was helpful and see you next week. Bye.